Hello and welcome. My name's Gretchen Cook. I'm the Director of Unified Communications and Digital Media, and I'm part of the Global Enterprise Services Group within Telstra. We're really thinking about how we interact with our customers and the value that we can provide to them. And although most of you would be aware that, we have a large sales team and so forth, we think that it's really important that we can provide enhanced value in new ways. To this end, we've decided to engage Current Analysis, an international global research firm, to help us understand what companies are doing in terms of their journey to what we term at Telstra future ways of working, or often called activity-based working. With me today I have Dustin Kehoe and Jerry Caron from Current Analysis, and we engaged Current Analysis to conduct 200 surveys with HR directors, with facilities managers and with CIOs, because we were really interested in the interaction between those three groups in terms of the strategies that are put in place for customers to move to new ways of working. Today we're going to really talk about facilities management. Dustin, can you help us understand what were the key takeouts from the surveys that you did with facilities managers?
Good question. Well, the first thing that we found is there's usually a sort of a driver in the organization. We're not seeing facilities managers saying we're going to do workplace transformation, we're going to do it on our own in isolation from everybody else. They are working with human resources, they are working with IT, but they're trying to achieve something. It might be building consolidation that was going to happen anyway. It might be a change in company strategy. But once we're on the journey, we just see those three pillars working together. Then when you drill down specifically into facilities, some of the things they're looking to is at a design layer, figuring out how we do activity-based working, what that looks like, hot desking, hoteling, group addressing, free addressing. These are slightly different definitions. Putting reservation systems in place so you can access the collaboration rooms, the meeting rooms, putting those systems in place. That's where they start to really get involved. And then you drill down a little bit further and they want to really create a personalized experience for employees through the design of and layout of a building, but the smart and effective use of technology.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a cost aspect to it.
Yep.
Operational efficiency, leveraging workplace transformation to reduce footprint. That has both just property cost savings for the company, but also energy savings and sort of green initiatives. All of these things are part of it as well. But what we heard is that it's not just about cutting costs. Certainly that's there, but it is about taking that savings and reinvesting
part of it
back in, or part of it anyway. And quite often that reinvestment is in the technology that enables this. Better collaboration tools, better security solutions, better mobile solutions, et cetera. So that was very clear.
And in Telstra, we have a professional services arm where we can help our customers when they're moving on this journey, just even in terms of what furniture they use, because you often see, because of the flexibility of the environment and the different types of workers that you'll have with different physical needs, desks often need to be able to move up and down electronically, at the click of a button. And so that requires new types of furniture and so forth. So we often work very closely with our customers right from the conceptual stage in providing those professional services, consulting not only on the technology itself, but just how to lay out the building. Yeah. A key speaker last night was John Romano, who is our acting CIO here at Telstra, and in his previous role he was our head of property. And he spoke about the fact that when we move our employees into these new environments, after a period of about 3 months, 93% of them say, I'm never going back. This is what I love to do. This is where I want to work. And I thought that was such a positive metric, as well as all the hard metrics that were incredibly important to facilities managers in terms of how they measure what the business outcomes are of these changes. There were some great qualitative metrics that came out too. Dustin, what were some of your thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because as many industries around the place are sort of fixated on Net Promoter Score. And you remember one of John Romano's slides, he said, what are the probability or the likelihood you would recommend Telstra as a good place to work to your friends and colleagues as a result of workplace transformation? And it was an exceptionally high metric.
It was.
Want to say it's exceeding like 90% or 93%. It was very, very good. And it's interesting because NPS to me is something you're telling always your customers, or your way you want to engage your customers. But I see this as another dynamic for it for employees. And it's, it's a pretty powerful metric. It's widely accepted. Retail and utilities and telcos and services companies, we're all kind of observing this. And it was just a very powerful sort of endorsement for the strategy. The other thing about it is, being Telstra, you can just imagine the scale of doing this. It's not exactly easy. And bringing people around for dinner in this 400 George Street, the facilities, you could see technology all around you.
That's right.
And so it was a great angle with a lot of credibility.
Yeah.
At last night's discussion.
Yeah.
Wireless LAN in the survey was one of the top use cases, but they said ubiquitous connectivity. Ubiquitous means you have to, those hard to reach places in the building has to be working, and the signal has to be strong. But it's also what overlays wireless LAN connectivity. Guest access is very important. So from a facilities manager point of view, you would want that. But guess what else you do in facilities? You kind of have to manage assets. So asset management is another use case. And if you're thinking video, it's not video in the collaboration rooms, but it's the video surveillance systems that you have in and around the building. You got to think about that traffic. And then another use case was like security and access systems that were very big. But that's what IT also wants to know about, because they're also guarding corporate data. So if you're coming into a building, and I know that Jerry is in 400 George Street and is accessing the corporate network, I have another ways and means to sort of authenticate that he's here and he's not hacking from the outside or doing something like that. And so what we found, a technology discussion or something leads to another technology discussion and create a lot of ideas of how it can really drive the next step of innovation, the next set of KPIs, take us from best practice to next practice as an enabler or foundation.
Yes. Sorry.
Just a quick follow-up. Just in our study and in our observation, do you think that generally speaking, facilities managers are working closely enough with IT,
and with HR?
And with HR, well, do you think that a stronger bond? I know the three areas all are sort of equally essential to a workplace transformation project. Yet I think there probably is more work there to be done, isn't there?
Yeah, because what we asked, we had a lot of assumptions. Who are the different lines of business you work with, and we threw finance out there, legal and operations, and a lot of choices out there. And we found that facilities works the least with IT.
Yeah, which was a great surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we also asked, well, who are you going to work with more in the next 2 years? And facilities will work more with their existing network, not more with IT. They'll be working more with every line of business. The cooperation, collaboration will increase, but we're not seeing IT jumping a few ranks. It's actually the same. However, the good news is they're working very closely with HR. So that's, it's bittersweet. They probably need to be working more with IT to do this, but they're working at least with HR in a kind of a good level of engagement.
One of the key discussion points was really around the preparation of the business cases to make these changes, and going back to metrics, making sure the right metrics are in place so that you're baselining the current state, and then you've got a way to equally measure the future state and be able to see, well, what has been the meaningful change, and to have metrics in place that will cover off not only the outcomes sought by, say, facilities managers, but the outcomes sought by HR, the outcomes sought by IT.
The number one thing that HR wants is the number one thing that facilities wants. You want customer satisfaction. In the context of facilities, that means your employee's customer or your employees, but you're always trying to improve a customer experience. And you're saying almost the exact same thing as HR. HR's saying it really tilted towards the employees, but they want to bring that satisfaction there. They want people to come to an organization and stay in the organization. Facilities will sometimes say, we want you healthier leaving than when you came here. So it opens up a whole nother discussion.
So look, in summary, I felt that the surveys produced some very, very interesting pieces of data and enabled some great insights to inform the discussion that we had last night. And so thank you very much. Current Analysis did a sensational job on that. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our discussion today and that we've been able to provide a bit more of an insight for you to help guide your thinking in terms of your journey for future ways of working. Telstra, of course, is a great technology partner for many Australian companies, and we're here to provide advice for you, be it for professional services and also just around how you pull together your technology solutions on this journey as well. You'll find the link to all of our information that we discussed today at the end of this video, and I encourage you to have a look through it and, of course, contact your Telstra account team if you've got any queries. Thanks very much.